pork meat, how it's made. Every minute, the world eats nearly 230 tons of pork. But the real shock isn't what's on your plate, it's how it gets there. From a piglet's first meal to a barcode that can trace a single chop across oceans, there's a hidden machine that never sleeps. Today, we're stepping inside it. And trust me, once you see how this system works end to end, you'll never look at a meat counter the same way again. Ready? Let's go. This is the full, unbroken journey of pork from farm to fork, told in simple steps you can picture, backed by the exact choreography that lets one facility turn out thousands of finished cuts in a single shift. We'll track one animal through the chain and watch the technology, the timing, and the people that make it work. And stick around, because halfway through, we'll hit a point where seconds make or break the quality of the entire product line. Step 1. The start of the story. Controlled farming. It begins far from the factory, in climate-controlled barns built like oversized science labs. Inside, clean lanes, warm floors, filtered air. Piglets arrive into a world where temperature and airflow are dialed in, to the degree where feed is timed and water is always fresh. That's not a bonus, it's a blueprint. Healthy animals grow predictably, and predictability is the foundation of mass production. You'll hear the terms biosecurity and traceability a lot in this journey. Biosecurity keeps disease out. Think foot baths, controlled entry, dedicated clothing, isolated traffic between barns. Traceability tags each animal with a digital paper trail birth batch, feedlot, vaccination records, so a packaged tray later can be traced backwards to the farm in seconds. Feed is a formula. Corn, soy, vitamins, and minerals, tuned as the pig grows. The goal isn't just weight. It's the balance of muscle, fat, and moisture that makes a chop tender instead of dry. Around 5-6 months, at roughly 100 kilos, 220 pounds, the growth curve meets the quality curve. That's the target, and that's when the clock starts to matter. Step 2. Transport. Calm in, calm out. Transport is a stress test. Trucks with ventilation, non-slip floors, and divider gates move animals in groups to keep them steady. At the plant, wide ramps and side rails guide smooth unloading. The animals enter large rest pens with shade, airflow, and water, usually for 2-4 hours. Why wait? Because calm animals mean better meat quality. Stress floods muscles with biochemical signals that can turn meat pale, soft, and watery, a quality failure you can't fix later. During this window, vets do visual checks. Movement, breathing, skin, behavior. Any animal that looks off is pulled for separate evaluation. From beginning to end, that traceability tag is still with them. Next, we enter the part of the process designed to be fast, precise, and invisible in its speed. Step 3. Stunning and bleeding. Seconds that decide quality. Modern lines use systems to render the animal unconscious before processing. The goal is immediate, complete loss of consciousness, quickly, consistently. From here, the carcass is positioned and bled a step that must happen fast for food safety and product quality. Blood drains into closed stainless systems headed for byproduct recovery. Nothing is random here. This is the first of several critical control points. Tightly monitored junctures where time, temperature, or handling determine whether the product meets spec. Miss the window, and you don't just lose one unit, you can jeopardize hundreds. And we're about to hit another. Step 4. Scalding and deharing. Transforming the exterior. The carcass moves into scalding, a bath around 65 degrees Celsius divided by 149 degrees Fahrenheit for a few minutes. The purpose isn't cooking, it's to loosen hair. Then into deharing drums with rubber paddles and brushes that clean the skin without tearing it. Any fine residue is finished with a brief singeing flame, then rinsed. In under 10 minutes, an animal that looked like a farm animal is now a clean, pale carcass ready for the interior work. And that's where the most complex choreography starts. Step 5. Evisceration and inspection. The clean room on a conveyor. Next is evisceration, removing internal organs with speed and precision. Operators at stations use pneumatic tools and knives sharpened on schedule. Organs are separated. Liver, heart, lungs are diverted for food uses where permitted. Others move to byproduct streams, pet food, fertilizers, oils. Each part has a destination. Each bin has a label. And the traceability chain never breaks. Camera tracks a stamp on the railhook lot code, time, line number, now the veterinary inspection. This is hands-on and visual. Checking for lesions, contamination, or any sign the carcass shouldn't proceed. Any doubt means pull, trim, or condemn. Only cleared carcasses move forward. The next room is colder, quieter, and crucial. Step 6. Chilling and maturation. Cold, that shapes texture. Cleared carcasses ride overhead rails into chill rooms kept near 0-4 degrees Celsius, 32-39 degrees Fahrenheit. They'll hang for roughly 16-24 hours. This stage sets the texture you feel when you bite. As the temperature drops, enzymatic processes slowly tenderize muscle. Moisture equalizes. The surface dries slightly. Fans circulate air. Sensors log temperature and humidity. If anything dips out of range, alarms trigger and the line stops. Cold is not optional, it's the backbone of food safety. By morning, the carcasses are firm and cold. Now we can cut. Step 7. Splitting, cutting, and trimming. The assembly of flavor. Each carcass is split down the spine into symmetrical sides, then into primals. Ham, loin, belly, shoulder. Operators specialize. One trims bellies to target thickness. Another removes the tenderloin in a single smooth pull. Another scores hams to spec. The line flows around indexed workstations, so every step has exactly the time and space it needs. On-screen overlay. Up to 600 carcasses, divided by hour, on a single high-capacity line. From here, cuts go through weighers and graders. Cameras and sensors measure size and fat cover. Software groups pieces by grades, so your center-cut loin looks the same whether you buy it today or next month. But what about everything that isn't a perfect chop? Step 8. Nothing wasted. Byproducts become products. Bones, trimmings, and fat are raw materials for stocks, rendered oils, and processed meats. Skin can feed into collagen products. Blood becomes fertilizer components. Even bristles and hooves have industrial outlets in some markets. In modern plants, waste is simply another supply chain. The more fully you valorize byproducts, the more stable the business, and the less ends up in landfills. But none of it matters if you can't lock in freshness. Step 9. Packaging. Oxygen is the enemy. Packaging is where raw meat becomes a retail-ready product. There are two big methods. 1. Vacuum sealing removes air to keep meat dark, fresh, and stable for bulk buyers or aging. 2. MAP trays, modified atmosphere packaging, replace regular air with a custom gas mix, often including carbon dioxide to suppress spoilage and nitrogen as a filler. The film is laser tight. The seal is checked automatically, and every tray gets a label. Product Weight, pack time, use, by date, and that all important trace code. Labels aren't stickers, they're passports. If a retailer flags an issue, the plant can trace the tray back to the room, the rail, the minute. And the next leg of the trip happens in a moving refrigerator. Step 10. Cold chain and distribution. A race against time. Finished goods move into chilled storage and then onto refrigerated trucks. The cold chain must stay intact. Loggers ride with the pallets, recording temperature and shocks. A warm spike? That pallet can be held, tested, or rejected. From one U.S. facility, product can reach regional grocers in hours or ports in days. Export cuts are blast chilled or frozen, then loaded into reefers, shipping containers that hum at set temperatures across oceans. A barcode in a Paris supermarket can trace a tray back to a Midwestern plant, to a specific shift, to a specific farm. That's traceability at scale. Step 11. Quality assurance. Invisible work, visible results. Throughout the process, QA labs are sampling, micro tests, shelf life checks, color stability, fat analysis. Metal detectors and X-ray systems scan packages for foreign objects. Knives are tracked, blades counted, and broken tips trigger line checks. Sanitation crews run nightly cycles, foam, rinse, sanitize, verified by ATP swabs and inspections. It's routine only because it's relentless. One more thing powers all of this: data. Scales, cameras, PLCs, temperature probes, every device is a sensor. When a line runs well, it's not luck. It's numbers. Step 12. The consumer finish line. Cooking begins with cutting. By the time you pick up a tray of pork, most of the decisions about flavor and tenderness were made days earlier. How calm the animal was at transport. How fast the bleed was. How cold and how long the chill held. How evenly the cut was trimmed. Get these right, and a chop sears golden, juicy, and consistent. Get them wrong, and no marinade can save it. That's the hidden truth. Your dinner relies on a chain of details you never see. The 30-second tour recap: farm, controlled barns, biosecurity, targeted feed, transport and lairage, calm animals, vet checks, stunning and bleeding, rapid, humane, quality, critical, scald and dehair, clean exterior, prep for interior work, evisceration and inspection, organs out, safety in, vet oversight, chill, 0-4 degrees Celsius, 16-24 hours texture is built here. Cut and trim. Primals to retail cuts, graded and weighed. Byproducts. Valorized, not wasted. Packaging. Vacuum divided by map. Labels equals passports. Distribution. Cold chain never breaks. QA and data. Testing and tracking at every step. Exhale. Why this scale exists. The machine that feeds the world isn't a single room or a single robot, it's coordination. People, steel, software, and time arranged so precisely that one facility can ship hundreds of tons of ready-to-cook meat every day. Next time you see a perfect line of pork chops in your supermarket, remember the invisible choreography behind them, the temperature curves, the inspection stamps, the seals that snapped into place at the exact second they needed to. If you found this deep dive useful, share it with someone who loves food or engineering. And tell me in the comments, which step surprised you most? The chill room timing? The packaging gas mix? Or the fact that a single barcode can point all the way back to the farm? Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thanks for watching. I'm the Factory Line. And this is how pork meat is made.